welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Toluwalokwe Dua, and this is Tolu Talks. So I want to now ask, like, does this differences in characteristic, especially as you have explained the millennials, does it affect our relationship with the older generation?
Oh yes. You remember I said that somebody that's supposed to be babysitted is now struggling or aspiring to be a babysitter. So the millennial, they want to be a babysitter. Imagine somebody who just got married 2 weeks after I want to now begin. I went to a store. I went to a store. I think I've shared that experience with you. I went to a store to buy some stuff. When I got there, I saw that they display this flyer of a brother, a Christian brother who wrote him. I don't know. I didn't know him. So until now, I don't know him. But he wrote a book on marriage, and it was a wonderful title. I think lessons on how to stay long in marriage. That topic attracted me. I said, oh wow, I want to read it because I think I was just 16 years or 17 years in marriage then. That's about 3 years ago. Yeah, 16 years, no, but 16, 13, 17 years. Sorry about that. Oh, the marriage. So when I saw that, I said, oh wow, this is going to be a good book for me. So I read, so I now took the flyer I was reading. So with the aim of buying it, I found that the brother just got married 2 years before writing the book. 2 years? What experience are you telling me? You don't even know. Probably you have not even have a lot of children. You don't even know. You are just live 2 years with your wife. You are now writing how to live long in marriage. I said, no. So that's this generation. Yeah, they just want to jump into things, and because of that, when the generation X and the baby boomers, when they see that, they want to mentor them, they want to call their attention to, you see this, no, you need to have this, you need to, no. Self-righteous generation, no, we don't need you. You don't even know technology, you don't even know this, you don't even know. I've read a lot of books because they are very fast in going to internet. You ask a question, they go into internet. You say something, they go into internet to verify it. So they tend to even correct the older generation, and themselves, they are not ready to be corrected. Not all of them, like I said, because there is always interwoven. Some of them even behave like baby boomers or even the silent age too. So it depends on the home where they come from. Actually, I think the home where they are trained, where they comes from. I mean, where they come from affects their behavior. Yeah, the pattern of their behavior onto which they are going to the classification they will fall into. I think home also environment too, nurture and nature. I think it affects it too.
Thank you very much. I think I'm getting some insight there. It's not just our innate nature to just act that way, and it's also influenced by the kind of parenting that we received, and then
the nature and the nurture,
the environment we grew up in.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I also want to ask, so how would you describe the effect of this trait on members of this generation? You know, we talked about how it causes a disconnect to the older generation. But on this generation, how do you feel like this trait has become a burden to us?
Wow. So how has these behaviors affect or become a burden? That is a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, how has it become a burden? It's because this person is going with the mindset of a millennial. That's why it's going through. He or she is going through this thing or that thing and all that. So how has it affected us?
Maybe you need to explain further.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I just want to know, do you feel like there are some repercussions of being a millennial that we are now facing?
Yeah. I like the word repercussion. Okay, thank you. So I understood your question. So now, being a millennial, what will be the repercussion, especially when one continue with this life, I mean, the behavioral lifestyle? isolation. Isolation in the sense that apart from the millennial isolating themselves, that is the one I call self-dependent. Another problem that I share with it is that even the older generation, the X and the baby boomers, or even the silent generation, they will just say, okay, leave them alone, let them face it, and by the time they fall, they will come back. So that's a big challenge. That's a big challenge for. And remember, I said they are achievement-oriented age, and so by the time the because and we have a lot of motivational preachers among them, even older than them too, that want to challenge them. You can be this. You can do all things. You can do all things. And by the time all these things has been pumped into their brain, and they find that, oh, I tried this, it didn't work, then they go into illegal activities to still make it, to still get what they want. So it's the American dream, so to say, even though in African they don't know anything about our American dream, but the books they are reading from America is already pumping, instilling in them the American dream. American dream is all over the world now. That is, you are what? You are enough. You can do it yourself. You don't need anybody. You will make it. You have become great. You have everything you want. You have it at your disposal. And when they don't have it, then they tend to go illegal way. And then we begin to blame the society. It's not the society. It actually is part of the societal problem. But it's more of motivational messages that they are listening to in this age. And because of the internet too, it causes more trouble. And so the burden is this, that when they are disconnected. They are disconnected from reality. That's the right way to complete that sentence. Disconnected from reality. Yeah. They are just like the book of Proverbs. You put in 50%, you reap 50%. But Ecclesiastes says you put 50%, you may even reap zero. So there is need for balancing. But this age, I pray that God will intervene. It seems many are not ready to balance it. Yeah.
Amen.
So you understand what I mean? The repercussion is isolation. Isolation leads to loneliness, and it leads to depression by the time they don't get what they want. Even they get it, they are alone. They cannot share their burden with anybody. Husband and wife that are living together, they can't even share their experiences, what they pass through at work. No, yeah, I'm on my own. I will deal with it by myself. And when that is out of hand, then you see a lot of them using drugs, a lot of them go into isolation. They will cry and cry in the secret of their, because of this problem. Yeah.
Wow. This means that this just looks like a very simple topic, but it has deeper
I believe so. So.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, man.
Okay, so I also want to I think you've answered the question I wanted to ask. Like, so does this mean that I'm at a disadvantage being a millennial?
That's part of the repercussion.
Yeah. So, and I said, okay, what are as much as we know that there's so many things we need to learn from the older generation, is there anything that the older generation can learn or can benefit from from having a good relationship with the younger generation?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that question. There is a popular saying that goes this way, that a tree cannot make a forest. There is power in unity, and there is power in teamwork. So when a generation thinks that that generation cannot play a role because of the attitude of the other generation, and withdraw himself, it's that generation, that the people in that generation withdraw themselves. The problem is this: there will be discontinuity in transference of wisdom. There will be discontinuity in ethical view of life, and even in the religious view of life, that is faith. So even a relational view of life too, there'll be discontinuity. So I believe that all these 5 generations that we have mentioned, they should come together, and then like the old people, even the generation X is still better. They know technology because technology came in their time, but not like of this day. This is age of smartphone and iPhone, Android and all those things. So like the silent age, some of them that were educated, they can still learn the use of technology. I didn't, when I was growing, I finished my university before I started touching a computer. I mean, I think I finished. I didn't have so what I mean is this: I learned it. In fact, it was an older generation who was my professor then that went to UK and learned all those things. When I forgot the name of the software we use for calculation, not Excel. He taught me that on the very big desktop, like TV. So he taught me. Then, as I began to learn it, I decided to humble myself to learn from the millennial. I said, please, I want to know this. How do you do this? I remember the first email I sent to one US professor then. Uh, one of the millennial was the one who helped me to send the email. He helped me created the email and he sent the email on my behalf. And so instead of me to go the following day to go and check my email, I didn't know. I thought it was like the snail mail. I waited for 1 month, for 30 days. It was after the 30th day I went to check. I found that professor replied my email immediately, just within 5 minutes. Well, he has been waiting for me. And he sent an email. He sent an email and he wrote in the email that, okay, please send all these documents, send this document, send this document. But if you wait till next week before you send it, I will go. I will be going to New Zealand the following week. So whereas I came back with 4 weeks after. So, but I decided to humble myself, to play low, because I didn't know how to use this. I made sure that the millennial taught me. And so the millennial should do the same. And not think that, oh, we know, if we don't know more than him, he will not come and learn this thing from us. I'm gaining a lot. You see, I'm very fast in the use of technology now, because I learned it not from myself, not from my group, but from your group. So your group too should be humble enough to say there are things that these people have that we don't have, and then be ready to learn. So, like Jesus, sorry, I don't have to apologize anyway, but because I'm a pastor, that is my profession now. And so Jesus said that he that have ear, let him hear. So one may have ear and not ready to hear. He that have ear to hear, he that have ear to hear, let him hear. He that have ear to hear. Ear purposely is for hearing. But he that have ear to hear, that is, one may have ear not to hear. And so we should, every generation, the rigid generation should be ready to be flexible. And the self-centered generation must mean that, look at these fingers. If this one is removed, if this one is out, it will be difficult to hold something, and especially the thumb. So the thumb, is shortest, right, among the fingers. So probably, let me say, this is the silent age, the silent generation. So we need this one to be able to hold things. We learn word of wisdom from the elders. So sorry, because of your time, I don't want to take too much of your time. So yeah, that's so. But we can collaborate. There is need for collaboration. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Because I think you answered like 2 questions in one. Because yes, you told us that there will be discontinuity in the transfer of wisdom, and because as much as they are loaded, the older generation is loaded with so many things to pass across
Because
to
of
younger
life experience too.
to younger generation. If they don't have that relationship, they will not be able to pass that information and it may die with them.
And the older generation should be very careful. They should not be too rigid. They should humble themselves to come and learn. And not, because if they don't, if they withdraw themselves, they will not be able to pass their generation, which is the one we talk about, discontinuity and the transference of wisdom.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And you also rounded off with the idea that we need unity.
Yes.
We need the strength.
Collaboration.
Yes, we need collaboration. We need the wisdom of the older and the strength of the younger in order to achieve things in the world of today. If we are going to move forward from this disconnect. Wow. Is there any other final things you want to add to
Okay.
this conversation?
I think as we round up the program, I will just advise whichever generation you belong to, whether the silent generation, which is which is a group that belong to people that were born between 1928 to 1945, and then whether the baby boomers, that is 1946 to 1964, or the generation X, which were the people that were born between 65 and then 80, and then the other generation, which is the millennial, that is generation Y, which are the people that were born 1981 to 1996, and then the next, which is the last one that we have now, another generation is coming up. I don't know the name they are going to call them.
Is it
No.
generation
There is another generation now. Because
Alpha?
they call them Alpha.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Like,
because
there's so
the
many things.
last generation that we still believe, because they use this one based on the workforce classification. And so those ones that are not into the workforce yet, those are the people that were born after 2012, 2010, 2012. So they are not in the workforce yet. Okay. So by the time they are in the workforce, probably they already got name for them. But whichever group you belong, make up your mind that you are not going to lose the wisdom of the elders. And the elder must know too that they don't want to die with the wisdom they have. And so they need to find a way of embracing. Life is not static, it's dynamic. So we must expect it. You understand? We must expect change from time to time. I remember when I was young, we used to wear trousers that the lower part is very big. That when you are walking on the street, it will be sweeping the floor. Whereas in this generation now, the one with the half is, I sometimes I wonder, how did they remove these pants? But we can let them know why we were wearing that. Even though within a short period of time, after that, we changed to the normal style. So if you still see me today, sometimes I like my fiance pant, or yeah. So the word that the counsel I want to give in conclusion of this program is that we should be ready to collaborate. Okay. Then we should be flexible, both way, whether the younger or the older. Be flexible to interact. No one is an island of wisdom. We are not custodian of wisdom. So there are things that we can gain, even from even a day-old baby. The Bible tells us that go to the ant, just ordinary animal, ant, the smallest thing, talk less of a human being. These people were fearfully and wonderfully created by God, and they are well designed, they are unique. And so we can learn a lot. So every generation can come together and learn together and grow together. It is through learning we can grow together and we can grow a better society.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sir. I'm sure he has said it all. We need to collaborate. We need to be flexible, and we need to also be patient and humble enough to learn from the older generation. And I'll also tell you, sir, on behalf of the the younger generation that we actually value your advices, we value your wisdom, and we're not going to we don't throw them away. But I just hope everything turns out fine. I'm sure there are other people who have listened to this show, and you think that you have some ideas on how this relationship can be mended better, how there will be better connection between the younger and older generation. I would like to see your. I'm interested in reading your comments, even in the comment section. I want to hear all you have to say about this. And the younger generation, maybe you feel there's some misconception that the older generation have about you. Please, I would like us to keep this conversation going on in the younger generation. And I hope the older generation will be able to read that and maybe
Yes, we are ready to. I'm ready to change, and I believe others will be ready to change too.
yes, sir, and we would also learn from each and every one
Yes.
of us. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And I think there are other shows that will be coming up about trying to address this topic further, maybe concerning the female gender, how to bridge the gap between women, the older women and the younger women, and other content about. We also want to hear from the younger generation, just like me. Like, how exactly do you feel about the older generation? And those videos will be coming up subsequently. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for listening. Please, I also appreciate if you could like this content, subscribe, give your opinion about it, and also share with your loved ones. And Daddy, we want to say thank you for creating time out of your very busy schedule to be a part of this.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay. This is Tulu Talks with Tulu Alokwetwa. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye. God bless you. Thank you so much for